person.
Thank you.
But Wendy had sent me an email, a week or so ago and said, would you do a toast for Ken at this? So I was honored and I said, absolutely. But I don't exactly know how to, do a toast for Ken, other than, saluting with a milkshake. So I came up with a top 10 list, and again, forgive me, I'm going to read notes here. Joe did it as extemporaneous.
Go for it.
As,
Joe's been living that his whole life, so
That's
it's
right.
It was
part of his
Yeah.
DNA.
and then Ken followed up with an extremely poignant speech, which was hysterical, also given the fact that it was poignant, but Joe's rendition of Ken was so spot on that it was almost hard to listen.
Thanks,
Seriousness
Ray.
to Ken. So
Thank you.
That juxtaposition was great. So I figured, all right, this is pretty unique. Ken's turning 50, so I figured for a guy who loves rankings, right? We know Ken ranks everything. Who's the best basketball player Curls has played at Pine Lake? So there's a ranking, and he ranks everything. Movies, obviously, there's a top 10. So I figured, in light of that, we should do a top 10 about Ken.
Yeah.
So, in no particular order, I didn't have time to figure out which one should proceed or come after. So, the first one, I think anyone who knows, and again, I don't have the benefit of knowing Ken like many of you since he was in that video and that little. I came on the scene when I was that little, and Ken, so there's an age gap, of course, in terms of my recollection of things, but I think these probably apply to everyone who knows him. Logic problems. So number one, with no drum roll, again, not in order. Logic problems. Did you ever think in your life that you could spend a few hours working on logic problems on what was supposed to be a night out? You're going out on a Saturday night, you end up doing logic problems, but then it turns into the entire night. So only with Ken can your entire night be devoted to logic problems when it was supposed to be a night when everyone's going out, getting ready to drink. So, this one is always classic. Excuse me. Sorry, again, notes here. Astringent. So, I can say that when I met Ken, I didn't even know what the word astringent meant. I still struggle with why it's exactly called that, but I'll figure that out later. But Ken doesn't just astringe, because everyone knows he astringes routinely, all the time, with filthy hands after basketball ping-pong. So it's like it defeats the whole purpose of cleaning your face when your hands are like mud caked. But he'll astringe till his face can practically bleed. But then he's even one better. He would rival, any chemist would be jealous of his ability to sit there and mix many different varieties, and then he'll develop, and then he comes up with 2 parts. This one, Charles, this is 2% salicylic acid, and this one is, so I make them together, you get an approximation. I mean, So this one, again, now this falls under the logic problem, but this deserves its own category because it's uniquely Ken. The sugar packet games. Again, how could you devote an entire night to staring at sugar packets arranged as Ken shows them to you? And can you remember? You have to take one away or take 2 away until you have a certain amount left. But, and again, doing this every night, sitting at the Croton Diner until all hours of the morning at the Yorktown Diner, this became the night. So again, unique and unique to Ken. Movies. Again, there's if you want to see a movie and you're curious about it and you don't want to read the reviews, but you just want a good, a great a frame of reference or someone who can really give you a sense of it. You call Ken. He's seen everything. You name it. And if you want him to come to the movie with you, you better make sure you call him a week before it comes out, because after opening night or the first week or so, I saw that one, Crow. That was great. Jack and I saw it. It was great. Yeah, it's great. Carl's especially you. You'll love it. It's great, Carl. I gave a reference. I alluded to this at the beginning, but milkshakes. So everyone has had a milkshake, everyone loves milkshakes. But whoever thought that you'd have a milkshake every weekend in the summer, unless you play basketball, and Ken would be the guy that after basketball would say, "Girls, milkshakes, so Stevie's coming, you know, we're all gonna go for, you know, milkshake, it's good, you know, we're gonna have milkshakes, so. I'm gonna race ahead, you know, I got, you know, a string for, I'm gonna, you know, I got a got a string, I'm playing Andy tomorrow, but I'll meet you guys over there." So again, milkshakes is something that's on its face isn't so unique, except when you have them every single weekend. This one, it's hard to kind of, I couldn't think of exact examples, but God knows there's a zillion of them, and I don't know why they're not coming to me. But Ken's the greatest wordsmith you'll ever meet. Every word gets bastardized and thrown into every direction. So, you know, when the knuckleheads go out, you know, Pearls would be a great night. You know, real knuckleheadry. We all have knuckleheads. I guess that just means what the knuckleheads will be doing. So I couldn't think of many more, so I apologize, but if you know Ken, he's invented his own kind of language, and, you know, so that's uniquely Ken. His car. I mean, the car is what exists in there, what grows in there, what's in there, you know, there's probably organisms in there that have yet to be discovered. There may be, you know, so, and the incredible, so there's everything from what I have here, just because I've been, peanut butter containers, tennis rackets, stringing machines, Babolat grips, clean underwear, dirty underwear. But the incredible thing is the car is filled to the top with all this crap. Ken knows exactly where everything is. No, Carlos, you gotta look under, you know, the third towel on the bottom of the pile. You stick your hand in there, you should find my wallet. And then there's like this giant knot, which is his wallet. But the mess in the pile is shocking. This one, again, you know, it's what makes Ken just so great. He marches to the beat of his own drum. Ken never had a solid 9-to-5 job until 6 years ago. And to me, that's classic and makes him amazing. Ken would, you know, oh, I took the fireman exam. No, I mean, it was great. I'm thinking, you know, maybe a fireman. Then decide, you know, then 5 minutes, and then he's tutoring, then he's teaching tennis lessons, then he's a classroom teacher. But again, only Ken can weave together 1,000 existences, and, you know, obviously, as we know, as smart as anyone, could have done whatever he wanted, but does what he wants when he wants, and that's, again, it's uniquely Ken. He playing every sport. So, you know, most guys have a sport they like, or a sport they gravitate to. Ken plays everything, and is great at all sports, but it's always with his very, like, highly unorthodox style. So, you know, if you just saw him in a vacuum and you were watching what he do, you'd say, no, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. His golf swing, you know, hands are supposed to be on the club like this, he has hands separated. I mean, it's like a hockey, it's the worst. His tennis swing, again, I don't know tennis, but I would defer to Joe or Andy. His tennis swings are crazy looking, and you know, the knot at the back of his grip. So, again, for a great athlete, nothing looks right, but the results are incredible, so you can't argue. His basketball shot, you know, from behind his head. And then the last one, number 10, I haven't been numbering them, but so this is the 10th, there were 10 if you want them, I have them right here, is his gait. Again, I don't know if Ken had a knee injury or a back injury in life or none of those, but you have to think that he's had major surgeries on all parts of his body, given that, you know,